Hello, my name is Sean Comley from Epic Games, and today we're going to make a video village style 4-up display using Editor Utility Widgets. This is what we're going to make today. We've got this 4-view Editor Utility Widget. You can pick a different camera in each view. In each view, there's also a heads-up display that shows information about the camera. We can maximize and minimize the camera. And we can go over and set the resolution of each render target independently in case you need to try and claw back some performance for your shoot. Okay, so let's dive in. First, we're going to make a editor utility widget here for our 4-up. You can call this whatever you like. Right. Double click. Let's hop into here. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is lay down a uniform form grid uniform grid panel. Drag that down there. On the grid panel, let's anchor this to the center and full screen. And we'll size the content as well. And then we're going to want to go up here and we're going to want to grab an image. Pull that down under the uniform grid panel. And let's full screen this. Now this image is what we're going to feed our render target into. You can't really connect a cine camera render straight into this image. You have to go through a render target. So we'll do that. And then when we go to make our 4-up, and we're going to have 4 different views in here, you're going to want to differentiate the different views somehow so you can quickly see which panel you're in. We're going to end up here with a lot of different variables and a lot of different textures and views here in the hierarchy. I'm going to use colors to differentiate each panel. You can use letters or numbers or animals if you like. I'm going to use color. So I'm going to, do like gray, red, blue, yellow, or something like that. So let's go ahead and name these. I'm going to name this camera view gray. And then also what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to be able to pick a cine camera in our level and from a list of cine cameras. So we're going to want to put a little combo box up here. Combo box. Make sure you pick this string. I'll put that there as well. And that's fine where it is. But let's call this camera box gray. Compile. Just a quick note, I've got my compile set to on success. So if you don't see me saving, I'm actually saving. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to want to go back into here and get ourselves a render target that we can feed things into, a scene capture 2D that we can feed some logic into, and then a material for the render target as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a scene capture for us. So we'll make a blueprint, actor, BP. Okay, let's hop in here. Let's add a scene capture. You can replace the scene root with it, and then let's add a live link controller. If live link controller is not available to you, go into the plugins and make sure that live link is enabled for your project. Now for live link, right click over it, go to add event, and then on live link update it. And this will be constantly, this is an event that we can constantly fire to be checking our scene. Now, so what we want to do is be able to pull in a cine camera to be able to match all of the lens information onto our scene capture. So let's pull in a variable and we'll call that cine camera. And the type will be cine camera. Make that public so that we can set it on the actor and the level. Let's bring that cine camera in. And we want to get the component, because that's where all the lens information lives. Get cine camera component. Great. And there's this really handy node in Blueprints actually called copy camera settings to scene capture. so you don't have to try and go get them one by one. So we'll put this into the source camera, drag the scene capture in here. This will be our destination. And there's one thing that it doesn't get automatically that we're going to want, and it's going to be the focal length. So pull out of there and say get current focal length from scene camera component and push it right in there. Great. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to be able to pull in our render target here as well so that we can feed it into the scene capture. So let's go ahead and make those. So go ahead and get a render target here. Let's name that. Okay, here. What you're going to want to do is make this a RTF RGB8. And let's just give this a resolution. Hit save. And then right click over this and you can create material. And we'll call this M1. Yep, pop into here. And let's make this a user interface. And make sure that this is set to linear color, which it is. Great, save. All right, let's go back into our scene capture here. And let's bring those in. So let's go here and let's call this RT material. For our render target material, that's going to be type material. Here we go. Make that public as well so that we can feed on the actor. And then let's get our texture target, which will be texture target 2D. There we are. And make sure that that's public. Now here, let's get our scene capture component. Let's say set texture target. Scene capture component 2D. And let's bring in our texture target and feed it in there. Okay, compile. Great. So let's make a cine camera here. Cine camera actor. Let's drag in our scene capture. Drag your scene capture under the cine camera and then zero out your scene capture so that it's probably right there you go. So that we see that everything's laying right over each other. Now, actually, one thing that you want to do if you're using Lumen, you want to make sure that Lumen is enabled in both the camera and on the scene capture. We'll go ahead and do that to the scene capture here. And then we'll do this to the camera component as well. Enable. There. Let's pilot this camera and move back so that we can look at our sphere. Okay. Awesome. Now, back in our Editor Utility widget, we're going to populate this combo box. So let's grab this and we're going to grab the on opening event. Throw all that stuff away. We don't need that. Now here is where we're going to want to go and find all of our scene captures in the scene. And then from those scene captures, we can derive information like the scene camera and the render target and the material. So first, let's go grab all these scene captures from the scene. Let's make a variable, call it scene captures. It's going to be an array type. And then let's go find our scene cap. So this will be your blueprints that we just made here. So let's go ahead and drag this in here. Let's loop to the scene. So get all actors of class, and going to be the same thing. Get your BP scene cap record. So now this is going to spit out all of these scene captures, and we don't want to get, we want to set here. So let's hold down Alt, put it here. There we go. So now it's going to find all the scene captures, and it's going to stuff them all in this variable here. And then from there, we want to loop through this list, and we want to add each entry in this array to our combo box. So let's go to for each loop, and then we will get the name of the cine camera that we're going to add into our cine camera variable on the actor. So get cine camera. There we go. And then we want to get actor label so that we can get the name of that cine camera. There we go. And then we want to get our combo box, camera box here. And then we want to add option. And make sure that you get the string type, not the key type. To this. All right. So let's just quickly step through the logic here. So on opening of the box, so like when we click the little box come down, it'll go into our level and it'll look for all of our blueprint scene captures. It'll put them into an array. It'll loop through that array. It'll get the name of the camera from that array, and it'll feed it into our combo box. Now, good practice for making combo boxes is to always clear it out before it's open, just so that you don't get any repeating values. Every time you open the box, you see, camera 0, camera 0, camera 0, just a million camera zeros. So let's clean that up. Let's get our camera box here, and let's clear. Get the string. Okay, and then we're also gonna want to clear this array as well. So let's pull this down, and we're gonna clear, just so we get new information every time we pull it down. So that, if we add a camera in the middle of a session or something like that, then we'll get that. Okay. Let's compile and let's have a look. Okay. Oh, we actually never fed this here. So this is why. That's okay. Let's add our cine camera actor, and let's add our render target, and let's add our material. Here we go. Now, you should see, there we go, cine camera actor 0. So 1, this text is a little big, and then 2, what if you put it on a camera and then you decide that you just want to take it off that camera for a moment? There's no like none option. So first off, let's go and decrease the size of that. Okay, that's good. And then let's go here and let's add a option for none. Let's go here and let's go add option. Make sure you get the string, type none. Here we go. Let's move all this down. There we are. Now if we go here, now we see none. You can pick none, you can pick camera 0. All right. Now, let's actually have some sort of action happen when you actually pick this, right? Like we want to be able to feed this camera into our scene capture, which renders into our render target, and then our render target will be assigned to this as a texture. So if we go back here, we'll see that there's an event called onSelectionChanged, and this is what we want. Let's go here, and then we're going to grab our scene captures. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the selection here. We're going to compare the name of this selection to any cameras that we find in our level. And then, that's how we know which render target to go feed the texture into. So we're going to loop through these. Switch. Here we are. Get cine camera. Okay. And then again, we're going to want to get the actor label. Here we are. And we're going to put this behind a branch. Okay. And the condition, we're going to pull out here equals, string. And we're going to say if the selection, if we're looping through here and we find a camera label that matches the label from the selection, then that's the one that we want. All right. And then from that, we're going to derive the material to set the brush. And then we're going to set the tint color as well. So let's derive the material here as well. So get RT material, crop recording. And then from here, we are going to set brush material. Not border. Make sure you pick image, not border. Okay, so now we're setting the material. And then let's set the tint color as well. And I will show you why in a moment. There we go. Set tint color. Set brush tint color. There we go. And let's split this struct to get the color. And we'll leave that pink for now, just so we can use it as an example. But we will come back and we will change it. Okay, compop. Oh, we didn't set our camera view. It doesn't know what it wants us to change the material on. Thank you for the reminder. Now let's go in here, let's run this. And when we go to Cine Camera Actor, you'll see that it is pink. So just so you know, whatever you set this tint color to, it will tint, right? I know it seems obvious, but I was surprised the first time that happened. So, meaning, we're going to set a lot of these quad views by default to be like, gray, purple, blue, whatever. So you're going to want to make sure to change this to white when you set the camera. Otherwise, you're going to get green, purple, blue, white. Great. Now, also, the other thing, though, now is when we click done, nothing happens. So let's go ahead and get some functionality for that. Okay. Here we are. Let's move these down here, like so. And then we're going to pull off here and say equals. We want string. And then if it equals none, then we are going to say this is false and this is true. We're going to want to bring in the camera view and set the brush material and the tint color. Set brush material. Again, the image, not the border. And we'll just set that to none. And then we'll set the set tint color. split the struct in, and we'll set this to gray. Try that out. So now we got our actor, and now we set it back. It sets back to gray. Awesome. Okay, but it looks like we're still not matching our color here. So let's figure out why our color is not matching. This is set to white. Okay, that's fine. And then on our scene capture here, this is why. Okay, so we're going to want to go back into our scene capture here and change a couple of things just so we can get the right color space. Let's go into our scene capture here and let's set this to render scene primitives. And then this one, you're going to want final color with tone curve in linear sRGB. And now we should match. Yes. So we weren't matching our color space here. That's okay. Great. And now if we set it to none, it goes back to our gray. We can set our camera. Awesome. Now we'll come back and we'll put a little HUD at the bottom so that we can get some of the lens information and get some time code, and we can have it here down at the bottom so you can view it easily.